Hello and welcome into Sorare with Laird. I'm Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdino on Sorare. Joined today by PSU fans too, and we have apparently Harry trades coming at some point, but the show had to go on. Sean, what's up?
Always slacking, Harry's just always dragging us behind. He made us like 10 minutes late last week for our Footium show.
He told me that, and he was like, I felt really bad about it, but I don't even remember.
I don't care. Someone blamed me, though. They're like, oh, we're probably late because Sean was late. I'm like, Sean's never late, which you can verify. Like, I'm never
absolutely
late.
True.
I'm like, if I am, I will typically let you know, significantly far ahead of time. But yeah, Harry Trade's just out there being a pain in the ass for us,
Unbelievable. So anyway, thanks everyone for coming in, particularly because if you are here live, you are a member of the Sorare with Laird Patreon. So those of you who are not here live and have to watch this later, and who knows when that'll be. But if you want to catch all of the streams live, patreon.com/Andrew M. Laird, get in there. Dobbsy, Kurlos, and Philly Dilly on the podium. Congratulations to you three. Anion, what's up? Mikey Bastin. Look who has decided to actually join us.
Wow. Late as always.
I have good reasoning.
No, you don't.
I'm sweating my tits off, if you can't tell.
I can tell you're a little exhausted.
It's a warm one.
Helping people move is not a good reason. Because if someone asks, can you help me move? You just say no. That's
I just did a washer and dryer in 20 minutes ago. Not on my own. There was a couple of us, but
yeah. Do you have one of those the strap system?
So we did use these. They did buy straps for us, but they weren't the ones where they work upstairs. They're ones where you could just both of you could use them, and if you're on a level surface, but anything vertical, you need the ones that there's professional ones. We didn't get those, no. So we just literally there was 4 of us, so it was okay, but.
Well, it'll be exciting to see just how much Harry sweats throughout this whole stream. I'm not going to lie.
He's dripping. You can see it right
I've got my paper towels ready. Baby's sleeping. It's perfect. It couldn't have gone any better. Slept in the car. We're rocking. I'm excited.
You guys will all appreciate this. I go on the airplane yesterday, and there's a mom, 2 kids, and a dad. The dad sitting 8 rows in front of the other 3. They're 2 and 4, and mom, the 2 kids. I'm like, kudos to you, my man. My wife would murder me.
Yep. He's like, this is what happens when dad books the flights.
Well, I would definitely do that if I could.
I know you would.
If I fly out of where I'm from, it's a small plane and it's a 2-1. For sure, I will never sit with the kid. Wife will be with the kid at all times. But then the ones where there's 3-3, I don't know how I'm gonna get that might be the only benefit of having another kid would be okay, there's 3 seats for you guys. And there's no way to do 2 and 2. We got to do 3 and 1. So right. I'll sacrifice and be the one.
Such a big guy sacrificing all of
exactly,
that.
Right.
Where were we? Mixelin, Kiralumo, what's up? Andreas Apocalypto, Sorare Burrow, Sean Kennedy, Hoodwink, thanks for coming in. Germ, Yippee-ki-yay, love it. Love everyone here. Philly Dilly said, hopefully this moving washer dryer thing has Harry good and pissed off for the show. Harry, were you pissed off from seeing these prize pools?
No, I wouldn't say pissed off. No.
Wow, sorry.
That's what happens when you turn your camera off.
That is what happened. I've never done that. That's actually the first time where I didn't mute my mic when I blew my nose.
You definitely just clicked stop video and not mute, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. That's on me.
The beauty of live streaming.
See, at least I was semi-courteous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although I think everyone would probably prefer the other way.
Probably, yeah.
So,
to silently watch you blow.
Apologies to the boys in chat. My bad. I just saw Harry's face. I was like, "Oh shit! Did I not?"
That was hilarious. No, I wasn't pissed off.
What happens when you join the Patreon? You get the behind the scenes stuff, and when people are like, "Oh, I wonder what behind the scenes is," that's it right there.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's the first time I think I've ever done that where I didn't mute my mic when I had to blow my nose. So
it was a good run.
Yeah,
it happens.
I've got enough shows where I feel like that's I've had to go shit during shows multiple times. So I feel like this being the first time that ever happened is a pretty good omen.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Sean, you've been gone for the last few days, but you said you were kind of up to date on the latest Sorare 26 update. Did you have any initial responses? Because I don't think we've talked since the latest Sorare 26 update came.
Thank God they didn't do the dumbass golden gold that they did in MLS.
Okay.
For super rare and unique. I thought it was like as reasonable as it could have been, if that all makes sense. Like, I don't think you could have like. I think classic still having unique makes sense. I think most of the things make sense with classic. I think the prize pools were what I expected at the higher levels. I thought the lower levels were good too. Like, I think rare was like 5K for first or 4K for first for prem. That's better than last year. So like that was surprising. At super rare level, I think someone mentioned this, and I do think it's true. Super rare has just gotten better. Like, if you're a super rare only player, it's gotten better for you because like, who gives a shit if there's an extra 10% of card volume out there? Like, it doesn't impact you if like I win with uniques. You just means I get more money if I win. But like, those cards are also less likely to be higher rated and like higher XP because they're harder to be in collections. So, I mean, if you're a super rare only, I think it was okay. I thought that it made sense. I thought that the rewards would be like in between what super rare and unique are as a combination, not like the full amount it would have been if they were separated, but like it's kind of what I expected. So I would say that the announcement was like pretty much like as I had expected it to be.
So let me touch on the super unique thing for a little bit, because as you mentioned, the prizes seem pretty good, and they did take your kind of suggestion of paying out further. Like, I'm looking at the Premier League super rare and unique, and it pays to 20 spots in like cash to 20 spots. And it's $200 for the bottom.
Correct.
For like
not like a $50 for like last place. It's a decent amount, and the string is decent, and the top prize is really great. Like 5K is really good. It's a little bit flatter, I feel like, than it's been in previous times. I would still like it to be probably a little flatter, but like, I mean, overall, I mean, it seems pretty good to me. It seems pretty reasonable.
So you were saying that it's really good for super rare players, which I agree with. The one thing that I was curious about, kind of the way that you're kind of already in this mode that you have uniques, but do you think the prize pools for super rare only players make it reasonable for them to start buying uniques? Like, do you think it's enough of a bridge?
Well, so here's the real thing, and I think you guys will agree with it. Do you think you're going to get rug pulled on uniques next year? Because that is the most important part of that equation. Because if you're going to get rug pulled on uniques next year, no. If you're not going to get rug pulled on uniques next year, probably. But also, like, you can only buy a couple. So, like, you're not able to buy, like, 6 uniques and use 6 uniques. You can only use 1 to 2. But I think what makes quite a bit of sense is you use, let's say, a goalie and a defender or something, like a stack, a little 2-man stack. And like, that's kind of your thing. So I think like if you can buy a classic card, I think basically a classic unique should be 20% more than like a in-season super rare.
Yeah.
And I think that like a in-season unique should be like 1.7 to 2 times a super rare.
Yeah, in-season super rare.
In-season super rare, and like classic super rares are just like completely useless unless you have the nut guy.
Right.
Not completely useless, but you like, I don't give a shit about.
You're not going to play.
Like, if you have the best, if you have Carlos Gil, I know season 6, Carlos Gil is the best player on the platform. But if you have a Carlos Gil super rare, like, and MLS was going to that that sequence like right now, that's fine because like you're just going to use that card, so like it would be totally fine. But yeah, so I think that there is some merit for people with super rares to go buy uniques, but I think that it is not. I think you have to factor in how much you think they're going to rug pull you. If you think they're going to rug pull you, man, I don't know if it's really worth paying tons more. But I guess if you view it as like purely a like one season thing and you get 20% more rewards on it, and it's viewed as as an in-season super to some extent, like obviously you can't just run 5 classic uniques. Yeah, so I think it's a reasonable thing. I do think that obviously factors into it a bit. Like, I think you got to factor into it the rug pull proposition, which like my calculations over the last like 3 years were at like 100% chance that that's going to happen. So
You're not a big 100% chance guy either.
no, so like you are like thinking it's not going to happen for sure. Like I don't know what to tell you. I think that's probably a not great assumption on your end.
What do you mean by rug pull? Just that they won't have?
Yeah, they'll take out they'll take out the classic card and say that it's not worth a in-season super rare anymore.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the big worry, isn't it?
Yeah, as Miss Granger just said, classic unique should be more expensive than 1.2x price of super because next year it will still be in-season super.
Good point.
Will it? That's the
well, yeah. That's the thing.
If you think that it is not going to change, you could probably go up to like 1.5x in-season super rare.
Yeah,
but
well, I mean, it's an in-season super rare forever.
Forever, yeah.
I don't think forever. I don't think our definition of forever and Sorare's definition of forever are in line.
That would be nice to get clarification on that one. Like,
there's no way they can do that now.
No, of course they're not. But like, well, is it asking too much? Like halfway through the season?
Well, they have no idea what they want to do.
Yeah, of course,
that's like really the whole thing about it.
But let's say halfway through, like they're happy with how it's going and stuff in like an ideal world. It'd be nice to go, okay, yeah, we're going to pledge to do this again next year, and then it goes, you know what I'm saying, like rather than knowing like 3 weeks before, like
I think you get a season. I think we all agree you're more than likely getting a season. After that,
who knows?
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right in terms of it's worth whatever the X amount is over super rares with the assumption that it's gone next year, and it's worth more if it's not.
Correct.
But like we don't know.
In theory, 1.2 is probably the floor. 2 is probably the highest I would go.
Yeah.
Because like if you think it's going to last forever long term or whatever, you can pay quite a bit more knowing you have that as an in-season super and you get a bonus.
Right.
Because that does pay. But like also like at the same time, you're capped. You can't just go out and buy 20 uniques. Like you probably would want to limit yourself to like 5
really decent ones.
Yeah, 5
if you can.
Better example, Harry. 5 goalies or like 5 like a couple goalies, because the goalies like the spot that you're like, all right,
rather not pay out on every year type of
thing. Well, it's just like sort of like the more stable of the spots in that like
fine.
It's the goalie.
100%. I mean, it's got me buying a couple of uniques.
Yeah, Dobbsy said they did, and I did see this on Twitter. They announced earlier that they won't change the streak prizes, at least in a negative way, for 1 season, though. They said for 1 year, which goes into our discussion.
Right.
I would also like to clarify who decides what's negative.
Well, that's true. They've done many things where we didn't necessarily agree with their definition of this is an elite great change that everyone should be excited about.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely a bit of a, you have to decide like, oh, is this actually going to be good, or is this Sorare saying that it's going to be good? Because they're quite different things.
Yeah, and I don't want to like add to the point that they can't play super rare and unique.
Yes.
Themselves, and so not that the streaks were for super rare and unique, but just stuff like that.
Well, yeah, the main thing to me is, and I think what Mike Basson just said, I'm predicting it. I would pay 1.2 for sure, because that's what we're getting this year. Only on a certain number of them, because again, you can't have 5 of them and use them. I don't think I would buy an in-season unique, probably, because I just like don't know if there's that much value in it. And like I really think Pranksy is gonna buy like all the high-end ones. Maybe I'm wrong, like maybe someone won't do that, but to me it seems like someone's likely to buy like the high-end uniques, or to some extent like the in-season ones, because they want the big bonus. Because I think if you're going to buy the big dogs, you need to buy all the big dogs, because you want to run like a 5-man unique smash fest that's going to
monster stack.
That you're looking to get that 5x payment, and the only way you're going to do that is by having like a lot of elite level cards. So to me, the most logical path is to like get 2 classic uniques, get your 20% bonus, and be able to use them as an in-season unique or in-season super. And like that to me is the most like logical path.
Were there any bits of the announcement that made you think that you would jump right in in-season stuff? Because like you've basically waited last year. MLS you got in a little earlier, but like, do you think you'll be buying condom cards this year?
No, I bought condoms right away, and I don't know. I'm not sure what my thoughts are on stuff right now. Like, I think what I need to do, and I think you guys probably will agree with this, the real issue is that after their in-season utility is gone, they just become like pointless classic cards for the most part, like 99% of them. Like, yeah, you're going to have like a Rodri or like a high-end guys that will maintain your value. I think what is going to make sense to me is look at like a division and be like, I have these cards. This card is the most expensive card. For example, I have a Kimmich Super Rare. That's probably going to be the most expensive Bundesliga card or one of them. I have a Musiala too, so that one goes great. But like, I have a Kimmich Super Rare. Does it make sense to like use that as an in-season, or like do I just play Classic? Because like I will say with 7-man Classic, if you run 7-man Classic and you have like the best cards, all 7 of like the best cards, I think you have a pretty good shot at doing pretty well frequently, because it's going to be hard to rattle off like 7 guys that are scoring well.
Like we've said for years, like that bigger rosters benefit people with bigger galleries. SO7 is right up your alley.
Oh, SO7 crushes the I'm surprised, because like most of the people that wanted the 7 were people that have smaller galleries. And I'm like, well, I don't understand why you want that, because it just destroys you.
It's so cheap though to get the cards now. I'm not saying it's cheap to get the chemistry. You know what I'm saying? In theory, it's easy to buy 7 now.
Yes, but like the overall theory of like a smaller gallery, it's much worse to have that. Like my classic super rare lineup is like the 7 best players at positions, or like not quite, but like you guys understand what I'm saying.
I think it's a lot of just, I was going to call it selfish, but I think it's more just playing with blinders on, where they're like, I have these extra cards, I want to play them. And they're like, as 07, you're like, oh, sweet. And not realizing they're going to get blasted by.
Correct.
Yeah. But like, go and like, Laird, if you don't mind, try and pull up the Champ Super Rare Classic prize pool. Like, I wouldn't even be bothering pulling my Kimmich, even if I have like elite guys there. Because I don't know if you've seen, I mean, you have seen it, Sean, but like, it's fucking grim. Like the amount of cards they're giving out in Champ.
Yeah, but like,
Classic.
Sorry, I'm still endless scroll.
The essence in theory is gonna like,
but like,
add up pretty quickly. Like
10 actual
20th though, Harry, is a card.
Yeah,
it is, mate, but it's a raw pull card. The 1,000. Yeah. It's not. You know what I'm saying? You need 2,000 or 3,000 to do like ultimate pull, right? You know what I'm saying? Right.
But you were gonna like finishing 13th through 20th was a tier 5, tier 4, bottom tier anyway.
Which this is better than that.
Right, because you have upside now.
Right, but like you could still end up with a tier 5.
Yeah, for sure. But like
quite
you
easily
have upside on top of that, which I think is.
But like, okay, give me a rough number, Sean. What do you think? How many people are playing this competition? How many raw lineups are in this competition? Like, give me a rough estimate.
Didn't they? I think they said, Harry, they wanted to pay 20 or 10%.
Well, that was in season. I don't think that applied to Classic Super Rare. But I
would say, if I have to guess, it's somewhere between 500 and 1,000 lineups.
Yeah,
maybe not. Actually, maybe not, because
it's SO7 too.
It's probably way less than that, actually.
Yeah,
because, like you can only get 3 per people, and a lot of people can't afford to have like that many lineups.
You can play 4.
Yeah, 4. Sorry, 4.
Not many people are going to play 4.
Yeah,
I think way more. I think you're closer to 800 to 1,000 personally. I really do. I mean, we could tell kind of, couldn't we? Like, if you just knew how many Classic, how many goalies there was, right?
I mean, it's just kind of hard to tell just in general at this point, because like we're so far down the list. Like there's fucking 50 cards of some goalies and stuff, and then
like there's like 50 Rodrigo Super Rares.
Yeah, I saw you sold your baby.
Yeah, there's 45 Super Rares and 5 uniques. I swear.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's the issue is that like SO7 makes it harder for smaller galleries to enter lineups. And like in last season, I could enter 3 classic Bundesliga, La Liga, Premier, and Champ, and that all just got cut to 4. Granted, like there's slightly more lineups. I think it's going to be harder than you think for some people to enter lineups.
Like you think there'll be like X, like for example, you might have X, as in like you've got more than 4 keepers that could go in there, right?
Oh, I definitely have more than 4
champ keepers,
like for sure.
Like, but no I guess you could play 1 in season if you really wanted to.
Well, that's like for me. I think the real thing with in season is going to be I'm going to have to look like at because everything in season for like most of the leagues, I guess, is individual league, right? And the in season stuff. What is in the classic or what is in the contender and stuff, Laird, for in season? Like what leagues are in it?
Contenders, everything except Portugal, Denmark, Scotland, Austria,
Turkey.
And what are those? Challenger?
Yeah.
Okay, so like if I have really good classic cards in one of these, there's a probably realistic shot I would buy cards that are there. Also, another thing, and we haven't really looked at this yet, and I don't think it's not as impactful going this way as it is the other way. If there are dudes that are transferring that maybe you get half a season as an in-season card that have moved, that provides some value too.
Mm-hmm.
Which like the MLS guys, like Denke, Paslic, all those guys, like I got tremendous value out of having them for like a portion of the season.
Like I've got Bernardeschi in season super rare right now, who will be a challenger in season card technically, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously if he goes to Bologna and whatever, so. But I don't know, man. I just look at it and go like, especially that champ one. Like, if I've got a couple of grand, am I really buying classic champ super rares to go and dominate there and, you know, clean essence up at least every week? Maybe you get a top 10 and sniff a card, or, you know, or am I better off buying one Kimmich super rare? He goes straight into Bundesliga in season, and I obviously have to fork out for in season cards, but I just look at the prize pools and they just visibly don't. And I know it could just be an optics. They just don't look good, like number wise. And I get like there's a lot of essence there. Don't get me wrong, but you're playing with fire with essence. And I know you can get really lucky. And you know,
anyone buying classic cards to play classic, just I don't know what you're doing.
Like I don't want to shout it. I don't want to call him out, right? But he's a good friend of mine. I text like I've got his number and stuff.
Please tell me it's Hayden. Please tell me it's Hayden.
No. Hayden. Yeah. Haydenio. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I bet he's like, I'm gonna do this stupid asinine shit.
Right,
like, that's really
stupid. Go on his gallery, please, Laird. Like, he's a good friend of mine. I've met him in person. He's a top guy.
He literally every day he's like, I'm gonna do this asinine shit. I'm like, that sounds stupid. And
so he's going balls deep in super rare champ, right? Yeah, he's already balls deep, right? Like he's as deep as you can go. He has literally the best cards you can ever get, realistically, outside of Yamal, probably. But he was doing most of this, in fairness to him, before the prize pools came out. And he texted me when the prize pools came out, and he was like, you know, what do you think? And I said, like for him, I was like, man, like I just don't see how the champ stuff looks good, like for classic. Even having like the best cards, I just don't see the appeal. Like I know it's great having really good super rares and whatever, but like for me, my mind just goes to like, can I go utilize them in season? And I do like that, but like Haydenio is a classic boy and like he loves the elite cards, and I get it. Like I completely do. I'm not saying he can't go out and win a couple of times in a season, but you're in deep with the champ stuff because it's 4 leagues, you know, or 5 leagues or whatever with Serie A and stuff. Like it's not just Prem only classic. It's not just like Sean, you used to mop up in Bundesliga last year, didn't you? In Super Rare, a lot of the time in classic.
Yeah.
You know, and now you're against another 4 leagues.
Yeah. Well, scroll down to like another thing for him is like he buys like scroll to the bottom of this list. He's like, I bought Rodrigo for this, and I'm like, what the fuck's the point of buying a Rodrigo? That card's not good enough. Like you don't even know if he's gonna play. Then he's like, I bought Julian Alvarez for this, and I'm like, what? Like, well, that's just like you're missing the entire concept of like what you do. Like I do not. I think anymore. Like if you are buying anybody that isn't a super elite level card as a classic, like I don't know, like it's just. Although, like
what super elites is he missing other than Yamal?
Not many.
No, he didn't have the super elites. Like he started buying when I'm like If you're going to buy a super classic card, buy a high-end guy.
He's moved from rare to super. Like he's still got some elite rares, but he's like sold off a lot of them. He's still got some really high level rares, but he can't let go of them. He just wants to keep them, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, he's moved to super rare, and I get it. I'd probably prefer to play super rare champ than I would rare on paper, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I just don't know, like, because these cards aren't cheap, as we know, and I just don't know if you can extract the value out of them in classic. I really do worry about that.
So, I'm a little more understanding to this process because it feels like how many of the Rafinha super rares are being played in classic, or Kimmich even.
Yeah, that's another thing. But it's a good point. I can't like disagree with it. But there's so many of them now. When I say so many, like we're talking like 30, let's say. Like there is obviously going to be some in there. Like there has to be.
Sure. Yeah. I wouldn't expect all of them.
Yeah.
I think you could make the argument that he's going in with some of the best possibilities, right?
For sure.
Again, he started to get them. He didn't get them at the beginning because he's like, is this guy elite? I'm like, it's not hard to figure out who's elite. Is this guy like a top
these first five are not?
Right. No, and like then he buys Ederson. I'm like, all right, what are you going to get this guy for the Saudi league? Like, what's the point? Like, the odds Ederson's like not in the Saudi league.
That looks like a collection buy to me. Ederson,
like,
Vardy.
Yeah, it's not though. It's like, all right, you're going to spend like $500 for this guy that's going to be in Saudi. Like, what's the point? So I don't know. I think so. Don Q was just talking about it, and this definitely could be the case. He thinks that you might just be able to farm essence in arena.
Yeah, but is that enough?
Maybe
with cards like this. Maybe. Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. But like this isn't like the type of shit. Like I'm gonna have a lot of arena lineups, I think.
But like I'd prefer to have like the Vanizek rather than like Rodri's personally.
Yeah, but there might be like champ arenas that he would
fine if there is, for sure. If there's a champ arena, then okay, I can stomach it a bit more. But if there's not and you're just in the Wild West, like you can't be playing these cards in the Wild West. Personally, they have to either be in champ or champ arena. You know what I'm saying? Or obviously in season.
But like another thing here is too, like he's got 20 cards. He's got like 7 elites. The rest are just like, what's the point of them?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
Like,
what's the
point of? Obviously, like he knows he started buying the more expensive one, but like, what's the point of the whole? He probably spent like, let's say, so he spent, as we can see here. Spent $230 on Højbjerg, spent $420 on Martinez. Let's say he averaged $500 per card here. Probably reasonable because like some of these are going to be more than that, some are going to be less. Let's say he averaged 500. Okay, he averaged $500 per card. He buys 20 cards. He spent 10 grand. How the hell are you getting 10 grand out of classic cards?
It's a tough one.
Yeah, like I don't know how you're getting I don't know how you're doing that.
Well, what's like an in-season Kimmich super rare go for?
Well, we have no idea. It's not in-season.
That's what I mean. But like I 10 grand, the path to 10 grand doesn't seem that crazy to me, given that he's going to be winning in-season champ super rares.
He's not though, because like Harry said, there's none to be given away. There's very few cards.
You're winning fractions of them. Yeah, I can agree with that. But you're not winning. You know,
you're getting one card a week, and it's most likely going to be shit. Like you might get one,
or he wins essence, and then he can get his 5,000 essence to make sure he gets a tier 1.
Well, yeah, that's another thing too that we need to see how it plays out because that's the biggest question mark for me in regards to classic. How easy is it going to be to pull out a good card? Because if it's pretty easy to pull out a good card, like let's say I have to spend 2,500 points, but I'm pretty certain I can get like a tier 1 by spending that or a tier 0. That brings a lot more of interest into classics. Then if it's like, okay, I spend 1,000 essence and I'm just like 0.2 or 2% out of 100 that I can get like a decent card. If there's an ability for me to spend like 2,500 and make it like a 89% chance I get a valuable card of interest, okay, that's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Because based on what they said, they're going to give you those like hints. And if those hints are strong enough, because someone said, I think they use it as the example. If you sit there and your hint is like, tells you what league the player's in, and you get a Norwegian guy in the Prem, well, there's not very many.
You get
like all of a sudden, like, I have like a pretty damn high-end chance to get like this dude.
Sure.
So really, a lot of that stuff, I think, to me, needs to be figured out first, which we're gonna have to see it play out. Like I can't tell you what's gonna look like because I got to go through that process once.
Yeah, I'm a little more confident that Hedinho has like podium upside every game week.
Yeah, I'm not saying he doesn't, but another issue you have though, Laird, is they're all in different leagues. They're gonna have weeks where they don't play.
Yeah. It
What is
doesn't
your
happen
thoughts,
that
by the
often.
way, on the one sec? What's your thoughts on the stacking and the
cap 260 bonus?
Yeah, I think literally both are totally pointless.
There's a 370 bonus, I think, in 07, right? Or like
which like you get like a 3% bonus, but you're giving up like a 20% bonus in card value by playing like worse guys.
Right.
Likely. Yeah,
like,
I think it only makes sense if you have that, whoever coming back.
Yeah, that random goalie that L15 is 0, and you're like, all right, now it's a little bit more intriguing to do that. But like the collection bonus thing, I think was like 2% to not run like guys in a collection.
It was you can only play more than 2. That's all it is.
Yeah, if you play more than 2 people in a lineup, you get like 2% less or whatever. Or if you don't play more than 2 guys, you get 2% more.
Yeah,
like it's so minimal.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It shouldn't change your decision making at all. Basically,
that's how I look at it. But I don't know how many people. I mean, obviously enough people are doing it, but it's kind of like if it still allows you to do the goalie defender, and then you can just kind of mix from there.
Yeah, like we've talked about it. Like I think stacking isn't. When I first brought up stacking, like when like years ago, when I'm like stacking, I don't know why people aren't doing it. I think it's a pretty good way to like beat some of these dudes that have high-end cards. I think it was so no one was doing it that it worked. And then I think as time has gone, stacking is less important than when it was. Now, that's not to say like stacking a goalie and a defender still can't be a good thing, because I think that stacking a goalie and defender still makes sense. Because like, again, if we talk about it, if the goalie gets a clean sheet, the defender automatically starts with 10 more points.
Yeah.
Just by being on that lineup. So
yeah, what's also funny about this stacking thing is that it started as this is a cheap way to compete sometimes.
Yeah.
And turned into here's an expensive way to compete always. And it was like, those things don't necessarily mean, they don't mean the same thing.
Correct.
And people just kind of ran with it. I think the other problem is that when they hit, when Bayern, the 5-man Bayern stacks hit, and everyone's like, see? And you're like, well, that just because it outscored everyone doesn't mean that there was like a higher scoring possibility.
Correct.
It just, we didn't have enough lineups to get it. So
correct. Well, the move is also like, the idea with stacking was you're hoping that team wins like 5-0 or something. It wasn't to like stack Bayern, who just are going to shit on everyone's face. Like obviously, like, those are just the best cards.
Right.
But again, sometimes like a goalie or a defender, like Real Madrid's defenders suck in previous seasons. Like they're not great.
Yeah.
So like all of a sudden you're like, I'm just going to run like a defender that's good on a different team and then run the rest of the Real Madrid guys. Like it makes more sense than just blindly running the Real Madrid guy.
It was like the Ajax stack had Kimmich in it.
Yeah, something like that. Or like, because Ajax had no midfielder worth of shit. So it's like, just run the Ajax stack with Gil.
Yeah.
And like run an all-star, or like in Challenger, like run it with Vonnekin and call it a day.
Speaking of doing lineups like that, what do you think about now I'm the only one here. What do you think about all-star basically? Like, does it become a place that you want to play, or do you end up playing the like champ and that's it, I guess?
I mean, can you show the all-star prize pool?
It's actually worse than champ, it feels
that's
like.
That's fucking terrible. Like, good luck. Like, good luck.
Like, that's all of contender and challenger.
It's all of everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's also going to be like additional champ cards that like people have too. Like, it's not like it's just those.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are going to play champ cards here. Like, if they have a couple, like, if they don't have a full champ lineup, but it's not like you're like, oh, I'll play more of my champ lineup in All-Star.
I don't know. I mean, because even the Essence, like, man, you basically only get a card if you get like 30, and there's going to be like 3,000 lineups in here.
I think there might be more.
So there's going to be a shitload of lineups because people just don't have it. Honestly, All-Star,
I can make 4.
What?
Like I can make 4.
Yeah, like All-Star might be below like might be below Arena, honestly.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Like, what's the Arena? Do we have the Arena rules?
We don't. They basically said they will be like similar to what we have now.
Because yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I guess the issue with Arena is like you have to risk stuff to win stuff. Like you're basically gambling on it. But like if you're running out good lineups at Arena, you're gambling with better odds. Like you're basically beating the edge.
Right.
Which is profitable. Like so if you're investing like 10 essence and you're just like, I'm gonna run my good cards, like your ROI is probably like 100%.
Yeah. Halligan said 80% of all-star lineups are trash. The problem is that
they're
trash because there are other places to play your
Correct.
cards now, and now there aren't.
Correct. Like, because you basically, like, all-star lineups currently would be, like, my 25th lineup. Now they're going to be, like, my 10th. And, like,
Right.
yeah, I have a couple more guys elsewhere, but, like, not many.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe you play guys like Douglas Santos still in contender in season, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, there's only so many supers you can play in as a classic. So, like, yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty bleak. Like classic is definitely pretty bad. I'm not saying you're not going to be able to generate essence either, by the way. Like I think we're coming across like that way. My gallery, I'm going to be able to generate some essence, but like the issue is again, even 1,000 essence, like it's basically like a T4 plus type card is basically what I would imagine.
Harry, you going to play All-Star?
I mean, I'd kind of be forced to it. Like, yeah, for example, like contender goalies, super rare ones I've got, like Brazil, whatever. Yeah, I'll have to, not have to, but you know, I'll play it by default. Yeah, I got a couple of like Turkish guys that can hit. Like, I could probably squeeze out a lineup or two. But then it's like, well, do I go into Arena if that's the thing, right? Isn't it? That's what like I think. I'd like to think the Sorare want us to play Arena rather than All-Star in a way, because I think there's going to be more satisfaction. We're playing against less people. Okay, we are forking out essence to play it. But I think generally, that would be I think that's what they want us to do. So everyone wins in a way. I know you like some people are losing essence, obviously 7 out of 10 people in the Arena, but I'd rather play against 10 people than how many's going to be an All-Star, Sean? What are we saying, 2,000?
A lot.
It's going to be a lot. Yeah.
I was going back here because we didn't talk about.
I think the individual league. I think the in-season stuff is fine.
Well, so let me ask you something specific about it, because this was what I wanted to. Like, we can't ignore. So it's 4,000 first place in Premier League rare in season.
Do you know what it was last season? Because I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure 4,000 is more.
It was 2.5 or 3, no more.
Yeah, Vita put together this like prize pool by divisions. I think this is total prize pool though. I didn't really compare it much.
It was either 3,000 or 2.5, 1,000,000%.
Yeah. So like it went up and it pays the same, because I'm pretty sure it was like through 40th last year also.
No, it was more 65 last year, I believe.
Okay, so like that's fine. Also, I would like to say fuck divisions.
So that's exactly why I was bringing this up, because we're like, 4,000 first place, 800 for first place in Division 2 is a lot lower.
At least
probably higher scores.
Yeah, at least incentivize people to go up to Division 1, but like fuck divisions are so stupid. Divisions,
just throw it all in one. Just throw it all in one.
Like so dumb.
I mean, they're doing that for the first week, the division battle. Just keep it. Like.
So last year they were saying 3K for first, but then 65th was 100. And now
so they just moved more money to the top end, which is fine.
Because you got streaks to compensate for the like.
Well, you also like another thing too is like you get a good amount of essence if you finish through like 250th too. So like it's not the end of the world, but yeah, I mean, I think we all agree. Well, Laird, are you on Team Fuck Divisions yet, or are you not?
I'm on Team They're Here, so I don't care.
Okay, but like if you did have an opinion, what would it be? Because I know Harry's on Team Fuck Divisions.
Like I literally don't care. Like if they have them, I'll play. Like I'm playing the game in front of me. It's me complaining about it. It's not going to make them change divisions.
Yeah. Well, I care about the MPs more than divisions personally. I know they kind of counteract. or like intertwined. But I'm team play what's in front of me, but I'm obviously also in team like just throw it all in one at this point, and just give us one big juicy leaderboard.
Yuppie Kaye said it's 4K less than Division 1. Is it really?
Right, but like the streaks that
Oh, the streaks, yeah, because the streaks are there too, which is fine. I don't think streaks are bad. I've been a pretty big proponent of streaks are okay. What sucks is the golden goal. That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. The streaks are fine. I have no issue with the streaks. So yes, all right. So sorry, the money is moved towards streaks. So realistically, like even so, like we said, 40th place is only getting $50. Can you go to the streaks? Because I'm sure this streak offsets the difference in price for some of these.
Yeah, but only if you're at that level.
Yeah, but even like level 1, like the bottom level is still going to be like, yeah, so the bottom level is $40. Like if you're finishing 60th, you're going to hit the bottom level.
Unless you
it would be like really.
So the problem is like if you're on the second level,
yes,
and then you get to the third and you don't make it, you get nothing.
Yeah, but you also could hit those levels and like you finish lower. Like you could finish 150.
Yeah.
And get, like,
I'm just saying you can't just like automatically add it because there are weeks where you won't get it.
But also like that top streak is ridiculously high.
It's ridiculous. This is the early season promo. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, this is the early season promo.
Yeah. So hold on. Did they not even like include the? Ugh. Hold on.
I could have sworn they had it somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's
streaks are hard stuff, but they're also not if you actually have good cards. Which like
yeah, I think you're
$4,000 is like massive.
Yeah, 4,000 is the top one.
I'm not saying that 4,000 is hittable very often, but the like $200 level, you can definitely hit the $200 level.
It's just timing.
Yeah, it's just timing. But I'm saying, like, I think if you actually have the good cards, these are achievable numbers. Up to the 460. Like 460 with 4 lineups with the good cards is achievable.
Yeah, the bummer will be if you're not on level 4 when you actually do score 530.
Correct. But also like having only one lineup or 2 lineups and maybe not having the best cards and having like stacks of Brentford or something, then it's going to be harder to hit the numbers. But like, if you have like the best cards in theory, it's going to be a lot easier to hit these streaks with 4 lineups.
So yeah, what do we think about that?
Well, you can skip game weeks now. I think is good. Like the MLS one was hilarious.
It's a trick though.
Yeah, you're missing out on leaderboard.
But now you're like, if you have 4 lineups, normally 3 lineups even, and all of a sudden you're like, none of them have good matchups. You're literally sacrificing every entry in there. Like you're not entering that for the game week.
I'm more talking about when there's like 5 games in the Prem on a weekend where like half the teams don't play.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's why they did it.
That's why they did. Because like in MLS, I don't know if you guys noticed, like the other week there was 10 teams that played in the MLS out of 32, and you just got fucked if you just didn't have them.
Yeah, but would they even open them if there's 5 teams? Well, I guess they have
5 games. 5 games, yeah, 10.
Yeah.
Got you. No, yeah, I don't know.
Toby said he's more likely to get struck by lightning twice than hitting the top streak. The top streak is definitely achievable. If you run 4 lineups every week and you have the best cards, it's very beatable.
I mean, it's possible, sure.
Yeah, if you don't have the best cards, it's obviously going to be a lot more tricky to do.
This is where I'm like, as far as like the single leagues go, like we've been test bunnies obviously in the MLS and stuff, and I know there's some big scores in MLS, but realistically from like a defense goalkeeper standpoint, there's not. So like their argument is, well, we had to make this one a little bit harder points wise because like Europe have better scores, but there's less teams, like especially like the Prem. Like I know there's some really elite cards, but the pool isn't huge, and like you said, like running a Brentford stack isn't going to get you to the 5th streak. Like there's just not you're not going to get 5 good matchups in a row to where like they're incrementally like smashing it more, right. Smashing it even. It's just like not impossible, but I think it is virtually impossible. That's why you obviously need multiple teams. And the thing I'm like trying to wrestle with right now is like setting out all my best classic cards in each league and going, okay, where do I actually put my energy? Because if I just spread myself out and go, okay, I'll have 2 lineups in each one and whatever. Well, then, am I spreading myself too thin, or should I just go, what? Let me just go all in on fucking Bundesliga, all in on Duplo, all in on Laird, or whatever that all in is, I think, and go 4 lineups. I think that's where you have to be if you actually want to try and hit stage 3, 4, and 5. 1 and 2, fine, but the rest is like it gets tough if you don't have 4 lineups.
For sure. I mean, to be fair, everything if you don't have 4 lineups is tough. Even with best cards, like getting tier 1 is tough. But if you do have 4 lineups and you have high end cards, like you should have opportunities throughout the season to get to the higher levels.
100%.
It should be easier also to hit in like the challenger and contender stuff where you have multiple leagues and you can pull the best players in. Because the issue is like in the Jupiler League, like you are only going to have so many guys having good matchups on a given weekend that like your second, third, fourth lineups are going to be a lot less realistic to hit it.
Jupiler is going to be really. Jupiler and La Liga, I think, are the 2 worst ones.
Toby Alexander asked, "Do we know how many people have hit it in MLS? The streak, the high streak."
Deeks hit it.
I know Deeks hit it. And I think he said like, let me ask him.
It's a handful. Like it's no more than 10. I don't think 2 handful.
I don't know how many were. I don't know how many were in that competition. Like even at 3.
At 3, I think there was like 50 or so, 60 people that hit, but that wasn't 3. I think it was 4. Or no, you had to hit 4.
You had to complete 3.
Yeah, you had to complete 3, which meant you were on 4, and then the next one was you had to complete. No, I think the last one is you had to complete everything, right?
Not yet.
5.
No.
Deke did it, but it wasn't for the special.
I messaged
he
him,
qualified.
But I don't know if he'll respond. My guess, Toby, is I'm pretty sure when Deke hit it, he said like 5 to 10 people had hit it, and that was like 2 months ago.
I can't imagine it's much more than 15. Genuinely.
No, I agree. I think it's 15 or 20 probably. I would guess 15 to 20 would hit it over the course of the season. But that's not an insignificant amount of people.
The points total's lower there though, right? It was like 475 or 480. It wasn't over 500.
I have no idea, but I don't remember what those numbers are.
No, because Momo told me that the streaks are like harder in Europe just because they think there's better scores. Which okay, fine, but single leagues, I'm not too sure.
I'm actually not sure that's true because.
So, for example, MLS is 350 points for limited. First one in Europe is 360. Like, just marginally.
I'm just not sure that's accurate. But hey, if there's one thing we know, it's that they don't know either. That is. I wouldn't put it past saying like there's more clean sheets and stuff, and defenders and goalies score higher maybe. But as far as forwards and midfielders, like MLS is MLS. Like correct. MLS midfielders, I think with MLS the goalie and defenders are just less predictable, but like the mids and the forwards score better.
100%.
At least a couple forwards. The mids for sure. There's definitely some mids that score way better.
How many forwards is it really?
Probably like 3 to 5.
5.
I mean, I don't know. It's probably like in that ballpark. Like there's
Messi, Zink, Dreyer. Dreyer's been the best player in the league.
Dreyer's been great.
Messi and Dreyer were the only ones I considered.
I mean, like Rossi has an L15 of 62. That's pretty comparable to like anyone in the Prem. I mean, that's Rossi. Like he's obviously a little bit down lower, but like the other leagues don't have Carlos Gil,
right?
Who
2 Bundesliga does
is the GOAT. Gil's L15 Laird.
Evander's been off the chart as well.
Yeah, Gas Gil's L15 Laird.
83.
Worst team, one of the worst teams in the league. What's his L15?
83.
76. Evander's 70.
Yeah.
Look at you quoting L15.
I'm
Shame,
looking
man,
over. He now actually has the numbers. Look at that.
He lowers the utility. He lowers the L15 or L14, L15.
Well,
I probably out there.
I mean, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I think that there's certain spots where it'll be easier. Like I do think Anion said, I think Bundesliga and League One will be easier to hit it. I definitely think if you can get like PSG right a lot, they typically are smashed. The issue is getting PSG a lot, especially as the season progresses, is typically a lot harder because they don't give a shit about the league anymore.
Yeah, they just rest Hakimi every week before the Champions League.
We're playing a league game. All right, all the starters, you're on the bench.
I mean, people are saying the league is hard. It's hard if you don't have Barca Real. Like, let's just be real, kind of.
Every league is going to be hard if you don't have the best players.
Right. But I think, you can pick out a couple of 80 pluses in Barca Real every week if you had not unlimited budget, but like Rafinha, Bellingham if he was fit, Ardagula, Yamal. Like I think most of them are scoring 70 plus every week for the most part.
And then you get to level 4, you beat level 4, and then El Clasico pops up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You're just gonna get screwed.
You can take the week off.
How do you feel that my boy Arda has sent Rodrigo out the door, Harry?
I mean, I feel pretty good about it. Trade like from a Sorare perspective. I mean, I love. I mean, Ardagula is the boy. We've known that for years. It's just someone needed to trust him. He's a completely different player though to Rodrigo.
Yeah,
like, I don't even want to compare him. But
he's better.
Well, yeah, but you're comparing like a forward to a mid here. Like it's just different.
He's playing in that right wing role.
No, he's not. He's playing centrally.
No, not really. I mean, he's playing it. Well,
he's playing deep. He's playing deep. He's playing like 6.
If he played deep and played as the 6, he'd be the best player in.
I mean, that's what they're doing. They should play him a bit higher. Though. I've seen like the Twitter scouts and stuff. Like they're saying like he should be an 8 point. Like he's an 8.5 for Real Madrid. You need him higher up. He has such a good delivery.
He should be Cruz.
Nah, you need to be a bit further forward for me because his final ball is just the best in the world basically right now.
Yeah, the only reason Cruz wasn't more forward is because he was slow.
Couldn't run.
Yeah, true.
But like he was so good at like receiving it from.
He wanted to be there, he just couldn't get there.
Yeah, he was there at one point. It's just like But no, I don't know. I don't think he's a conduct. I think he can do it all, but I think he's more SO5 friendly if he's higher up the field because he'll just get so many assists. It's like going to be a joke basically.
No, because he's better if he's deep line because he gets more of the ball and having more of the ball is better.
Yeah, no, but I think you could argue that, but I think the quality of the end ball could like attempted assist, big chance created. I think that would outweigh like tippy tappy Cruz passes.
Maybe.
They'd both be amazing, but I just think the potency of higher up the field because he can get the assists is like jackpot. Like he could get an assist every game like so easily, like in good matchups.
He should have started last year. They would have done a whole hell of a lot.
They would have done better.
Toby Alexander here with a line of the stream here. Ligue 1, I think, will be the cheapest of the 4, basically a nudist beach with the streaking opportunities.
That's amazing.
Philly Dilly asked for arenas in rank in terms of line creating. I don't know yet. I need to see how it all works. So that is a come back to me in a couple months question.
I think it's like, I think if you think of them as what they are now, use 10 to potentially, I don't even know what the top prize is. Is it 30, 50?
Well,
70,
50, or like if you're in the golden one, it's like 200 or something.
Yeah, I didn't even want to consider that since that's like totally out of your like out of
I've never hit one.
Well, basically what you should do for like proper math on it is like you have a 5% chance of getting that one, so like add 5% to the total, which like would be like 10 or like 8 because I think you need to remove the 50, so it'd be like 5% of the 150, so 7.5. So
I assume the answer is definitely not, but did you buy any summer edition cards to play the cash arenas?
Fuck no.
I won Buanga, played him once, he missed a penalty, and then I've never played him since. Because they went out that game, and then I played them on the weekend.
I wasn't buying those summer edition cards. Also you got the summer edition shit was right in the middle of like, hey guys, we fucked your brains out. We'll let you know in a month and a half of what we're gonna do. And then like, so it's pretty much in the middle of that. So like I was sure shit not buying anything during that window.
They're still for sale.
What?
Like you can buy them now.
Yeah, but like the competition's over now.
No, you can use. They're gonna have cash summer edition cash arenas for the rest of the season.
Oh, really?
Like during the Premier League season?
I'm guessing it's like contender and challenger.
Like, why would I go buy a Jude Bellingham summer edition thingy?
Well, not Jude, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure they said they're going to keep this going.
I played one arena and I won it, so I have 100% win rate. The issue is with the arena is I'm not going to just enter my shit in there and deal with DNPs. Harry's favorite topic.
Well,
I like how Harry, by the way, Harry's picked up my drum on DNPs. Like Harry bitches about him like all day. I love it.
Yeah, I mean I have to.
But yeah, I mean someone had to pick up my torch.
There's too many in the other corner. I need to find my battle. But
no, they have late entry arena.
Yeah, late entry arena. Yeah.
Not in super rare. Like I try to enter it and like.
True. Yeah, they don't. It's just
it's like I don't understand why.
Surely they will when European season starts.
I mean, it didn't say that on the thing, but yeah, I'd like to think they would.
Because I'll tell you exactly what I'll do is I'll look at my line and be like, oh, I'm in SO7 and Upamecano's DNP because he had appendicitis. That line's dead as shit. Let me just go plop my Bayern stack in arena, enjoy, and then win said arena because might as well. That's what I'm gonna. I tell you, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna sit there and look at my line and be like, oh, you're having a baby today, so my line's dead. Let me just go move all my top 5 other cards right into arena and just obliterate everyone because I know you're in the lineup and you're the best cards.
Yeah, Legend says, do you think they fuck streak rewards up like they did with Essence? Excuse me.
This is that's what we were talking about earlier. Nicola was on a stream today that said they wouldn't do that.
I think that it's a little bit more difficult. If I'm them, and we've always said this, Howling and saying that I won't be eligible to use them in arena if they're in SO7 lineups already. So
is that actually right? I mean, you would obviously cancel the lineup.
Yeah, I would cancel the lineup. I don't give a shit about the lineup anymore.
You get relegated, but
I mean, I feel like Hatlingen is probably more likely correct because it seems like he has read more into it than I have. So good chance on it. What were we just talking about? Oh, the issue is essence. You only have so many cards, so you can only give out so much essence. So they have to change that. The cash, like they could give out a little bit more if it makes sense. Like if they're like, oh, I don't think they want to lower it again. I don't think they're going to lower shit during the season. I think, which we've said for years. If they were doing stuff correctly, they would come out with a projection, release like 80% of it, and then be like, oh, hey, guys, we found another 20% more money as the season goes on and add it later at a later date.
I mean, they didn't.
Howling may be incorrect now. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, like if your line's dead, I don't give a shit about canceling it. Also, like I will say another thing.
They should do that, by the way.
I'll tell you why I'm way less likely to play rares than super rares. Divisions. I don't want to sit there and be in Division 2 when I have a good lineup. I actually funny on that. I literally won Contender Division 2 last week. in rare because I was in Division 2 and all my random ass dudes just went nuts. Like I don't want to spend X amount of money to be in Division 2 or Division 3 by chance. And
but at least you have streaks to fall back on in a way.
Yeah, I guess in a way. I mean, I guess that is true. That is fair, but you have to be on the right level of the streak for that to really matter.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to be in Division 2 when I pop off and would have won and get $800 instead of $4,000. I want to play in super rare where if I win, I win.
Yeah.
So divisions keep me out of rare. So like I can't imagine I buy any rares at least at the beginning. Maybe I'll buy some midway through the season. But super rares, like maybe I will buy super rares.
Did you do rare in MLS?
Huh?
Did you rare in MLS?
Eventually, because I really liked those cards that they had in the middle of the season. Those
the vintage.
those cool cards that were like neat. I really liked those.
What was I going to say?
So the aesthetics got you to buy them?
Shockingly, yes, Laird.
Collectibles platform.
Surely there's a stream somewhere where you said you would never do that.
I really like those cards. Like those. I really wanted the Gil.
I don't know how I find it, but I got to find this clip.
No. I mean, I really like those cards. To be fair, I also was planning to buy middle of the season cards, and they had some decent comps. I thought I could pay them off pretty quickly. I did not, but I thought I could.
Come and buy the Gil. I won the Gil.
Yeah, I don't care about a rare.
Oh, okay.
I know you don't have a super because it's fucking.
I don't. I'll be back now in 2 seconds.
I was going to pull these up to see what you bought. Yeah, there they are.
Well, I didn't buy all of them. I did buy some of them, though.
What is it that you like about them? Just that they look like real cards?
I thought they just looked really great. I mean, I thought the actual cartoon ones look awesome. Like that Almiron, like that stuff, I thought they looked awesome.
Yeah.
Like those are probably my favorite cards that we've ever seen on here.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah, so I just liked them. But like I was planning to buy some rares, so like I bought them. Like Peck, I thought was way too cheap.
Yeah, like comparing the two. Like the two designs for this year.
Yeah, like I just think it's such a better design. Like it's such a cool card. But yeah, I know that's weird for me. But I did it, Laird.
Yeah, no. Hey. Sean, it's okay to have fun.
Well, also you want to know why else I did it, Laird? because I'm up shitloads in MLS because I hit the dumbass golden goal.
Oh yeah.
So like I've spent like 3,000 on MLS super rares and I've already returned like 10. So I was like, yeah, all right, I can spend like $2,000 on rares because like I'm already up enough that I don't really care.
Did you see Pranksy hit it this past game week after somebody won the lower one before?
No, so Pranksy didn't hit it. He hit the number that they reduced it to.
Oh.
And didn't get anything despite having a better score. But you want to know the best part? You know how many people in Unique and Super have hit the golden goal, the like normal golden goal? Do you know how many people have hit it?
I think
normally?
It's 0.
0.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people have hit it with like a non-eligible lineup?
1.
0. Yeah. What a great concept. That was brilliant.
I feel like they built it to be like an end of season thing when bonuses are all high and didn't realize that would make everybody angry the entire season.
No, they did it because they had data that suggested people could hit that.
Yeah, I think the data included like late season XP and stuff.
No, data, aka, oh, hey, people have unlimited amounts of classic cards they can play and hit it because they can just run fucking classic cards in the competition, not forced to run 4 in-season cards, a 5 in that situation. So, yeah, so anyways, I think that Super Rare one's still going. Do you know how many Unique players have hit it?
I thought we just said 0.
Well, no, like the reduced number one.
Oh, 2, right?
2. Me and then one person won both of them at Unique. So he's like won like $15,000 as like you'd have to win every week of the season to get $15,000.
That's a lot of money.
It is. I won like 7, I think.
Look at all these people winning tens of thousands of dollars. My God.
Yep. Great concept. Awesome concept.
Well, at least it's gone.
Totally not dumb as shit. I would argue Golden Goal might be the dumbest thing they've ever done in regards to like what they did with like prize pools and stuff. Like I would argue, I think there's a legit case you could make that it is the single dumbest thing they've ever done, which is like impressive.
Spoken by the guy who won $7,000 too.
Yeah. Do you know how bad it is that the person that won your massive stupid, like that's the most that they've ever given in anything except for the Unique. Like I don't think they've ever given more than that. Well, maybe they gave more than that in Unique last year for winning like champ or something. But like, what an absolutely stupid thing.
Well, they fixed it by getting rid of it.
Yes, which is good. I'm glad they got rid of it.
So what other info do you need in order to figure out what you're playing this year, just to see how much early season cards cost?
Well, I need to see how much early season cards cost. I need to see like what the arena looks like, I think fully. I need to see exactly how the essence is going to work, because I do think if there's like a pretty clean way to like figure out with pretty good frequency what you're getting, it might make sense and make essence a lot more valuable than it is in its current shape. But we have to see that to sort of like fully break that down.
And the last thing that we didn't talk about that I think they're claiming is going to be a big part, even though we don't have any details, is sealing, meaning putting cards in your vault.
We have no info on that, but like, I don't think that's going to be that impactful to literally anybody whatsoever, because I literally think I'm not going to use other people, but like, it's going to be like, oh, I got to seal these guys for more money. Oh, Aaron Bupenza, you're literally dead. I'm going to vault you. So what does that do, right? Like, that doesn't impact the game at all. Like,
so one thing that they did in MLB, I don't know if you've heard of this, but they do like cash rewards for vault picks sometimes. So like, would that get you to do something like vault?
What does that mean?
So one of the examples that they did the other day was if a super rare player that you had in MLB hit a home run and they were in your vault, you won $50.
No, unless they did it like all the time.
You want a little exclusive? I've heard through the grapevine that sealing can go up to 50%.
Jesus.
But I'll caveat that and say that well, I can say, I mean, yeah, we had a couple of meetings, didn't we, with Momo and stuff, and he explained a few bits. He didn't show me anything, and I don't know how hard it is to get to 50%, but basically he said that like Pranksy and Pavel are probably the only two people that are going to get to that level.
But like the question,
sorry, Sean, it's a prize bonus, right? Not a
prize bonus, yeah. But it will, like, he reckons people that have been playing for, like, let's call it a season or two, he was like, you'll probably be in like the, the 0 to 5%, roughly. I think he kind of said. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, that's kind of what he said.
Well, the real question to me, and the only way that it has any impact on the game, is like, are you incentivized to vault Carlos Gil?
Right. Yes.
No. And the answer is, I would be shocked if that's the case. No. So
I think it's more like vaulting like the middle of the road guy that like probably goes into like your third, fourth lineup.
Well, what about like the guys that are dead?
I mean, they'll get. I don't know how the point system works, but like obviously it's going to be like tiered. Yeah, I think you need like lots of those to accumulate to accumulate. Like Carlos Gil's 1,000 points. I think you probably need like, I don't know, 200, maybe 300 like duds to even like, make up for that.
Hatlingen said to the valued cards or vaulted cards or whatever. I believe they do. Yeah,
they do.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, again, like we just need the information on it, and without the information, it makes it kind of difficult. But like to me, if nobody is incentivized to vault a Carlos Gil super rare, there's no impact on the game whatsoever. Because like I'll just vault my Aaron Bupenza, get my extra like 0.1%, then mint my or like I'm sure I have like I would be shocked if I don't have like at least 5 people that are legitimately dead as their cards. Like, okay, I'll vault them, get my 0.1% on each of them. Okay, boom, 0.5%. I'm not gonna, but like if I get like, oh hey, you vault like a star player and you get like 10%. Okay, maybe that's worth it. Because if you just like permanently get 10% forever, maybe it's worth it. But again, like we have to see that, and then you have to worry about them changing thing down the road where they're like, hey, you get nothing anymore, but you minted it, so it's gone. And it's like, okay, well, shit.
I think they will. I think there's a possibility that they could have like huge payouts for vaulted cards sporadically, like a Champions League week, and it's like every goal you score from a player that's in your vault or a decisive action of a player in your vault, you win $100 per decisive action. And it's like, how many good cards do you vault then?
Don Q said you can always take your guys out of the vault. That is not true, Don.
Well, it is
like baseball.
No, it is true. You can take them out.
No, I thought in baseball, if you vaulted them, you can't. If you seal them, you can.
No. You seal them into the vault. However, in baseball, you can unseal a card every day, like one card every day. And in football, it's one card every 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it takes a lot of time.
So also, if you're somebody who is like, I want to sell my gallery sometime in the next year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't seal any cards because you can't sell them.
Are you sure? Because I could have sworn someone told me that if you vault a card in MLB, it's just forever vaulted and you can't touch it.
It has to be vaulted for 7 days, and then after that, you can unseal any card. It's one a day.
Interesting. Harry, are you enjoying my alarms going off to check my Footium games?
Yeah, that's quite funny. When did you have a game? 2?
Well, I have one right now. I'm in the middle of the game. Right. I'm setting. I mean, I'm watching on my screen, but I had two at 1 when we started, and I got shit on in the one. Well, I didn't get shit on. I lost 3-2. I was down like 2-0 by the time the game like opened. I was like, well, that's not great.
That's not great. Yeah, I don't know how much sealing will have an effect. It's not a light decision.
Yeah, it's not a light decision. Yeah. So I mean, I'll tell you what, I have no problem vaulting Bupenza.
I don't know if they necessarily want to make you vault Gil, but maybe they want you to vault. I can't even think some mid-level guy.
Well, like a goalie, like they want you to vault like Brad Stuver.
I don't know. I think they just want to clean up as much dud that, I really think it's a quantity thing rather than like quality. Like, yeah, okay, you do get more points. I just don't think the game works if you're sealing Gills. I just don't think they won that. I don't think anyone should want that.
Yeah, really. But I got like 800 supers. I could easily vault like 200 of those dudes.
I think maybe I reckon you could probably do half
Yeah,
and like not feel an effect type of thing. You know, I'm expecting to
I
at
have plenty
least
of
seal
games
half
that
my
are
cards.
pointless in my gallery.
Genuinely, the best part of it will be getting them out of the lineup builder.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
true.
yeah.
And even in your gallery. Like they're in a separate page on your gallery.
Mm-hmm.
Very true, Laird.
Yeah, I think it's just a cleanup job. I really do. I think it's just like a mass cleanup job of the market, of your gallery, of the lineup builder. And I think it just, yeah, you know, just smooths everything out and just lets you see what you kind of want to use week to week. I really do. And you get five. Like, I'm not expecting to get more than 10%. And I think I would probably
That
enjoy
even
that.
seems high to me.
Yeah, that seems
Like
high.
I
Yeah,
have
I'd be
6%
happy with
in
5.
MLB. Not that I have a ton of MLB cards, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what Andreas. Falling pretty sure cards get to 10% could be decent. I think that's what everyone in the real, like, if there's not Pavel and not like a mega whale, should be aiming for without knowing. Like, I don't know the numbers. I really don't. All I know is you can get up to 50%, but Momo said he's not expecting hardly anyone to be able to get there, which is whatever.
I don't know. 10 just feels high to me, but I guess it doesn't. I mean,
but what does it apply to? It applies to Essence, XP, and leaderboard cash. Obviously, not streaks.
correct.
Yeah.
And cards.
And
meaning like if you win a tier, if they basically decide that a tier 4 is 1,000 essence,
yeah,
excuse me, tier 5, then you'll win like an extra 100 essence.
Really? So it's like fractionalized cards as well.
That's how they do it in MLB right now.
Interesting. Okay. I think it'll be positive. I don't see many negatives about it, unless, you know, without knowing the full picture.
Yeah, I'm just not. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You got anything else, guys?
Nope.
Well, Laird, what are you planning on playing?
I think I'm going to play League on in-season rare.
Yeah.
And I have contender in-season cards through the end of 2025 anyway with Argentina.
Nice.
So I'll keep playing those. And then I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Enjoy Division 2, Laird.
In League on?
Well, yeah, wherever you're participating at your fullest.
I plan on winning the what do they call it to
Division
start?
battle.
Division battle? Not really. I don't even know when I'll buy. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to buy like day 1 cards, and I don't know if I'll buy like before the first game week.
Mm-hmm.
Toby asked, do you think Nep genuinely plans on playing everything to the highest level, or was that Sorare partner talk? I think the answer to that's neither. I think Nep really likes the game, and I think that everything he does is not partner talk. Like, Nep is definitely not a Sorare partner type person. But I don't know if he plans on playing everything this year, because I don't think it went as well as he was hoping it would last season. So I think he won't do what he did last season, but I don't think it has anything to do with like Sorare partner talk stuff.
I don't think he plays anything because he's a Sorare partner.
Yeah. Like, Nep truly likes the game, and everything he does is fully based on like liking the game.
Like what he does,
Yeah.
Or what he wants to do. Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny. As a reminder, if you are watching this back because you were not a member of the Sorare Laird Patreon community, because I don't know why you weren't, but go to patreon.com/AndrewMLaird, become a member, see all of the streams live when they happen. I believe the Maxime discussion will go public tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Depends when you're watching this, but it'll be sometime this week. But anyway, Sean, good to talk to you. Welcome back. Harry, happy Tuesday as always. And for everyone else, make sure you get outside.